Good morning, it's James Busby again. The last video that I actually put out, we talked about my tremendous weight loss. We talked about the sleep apnea machine. We talked about diabetes. We talked about high blood pressure. We talked about all of those things. And yes, it's important that you watch out for your weight, that you continue to do things that helps you reduce weight, like stay active. One of the things I always talk to you all about is your weight and exercise and getting up in the morning and doing your push-ups and doing your sit-ups and doing all those things that you need to do to remain healthy. And I was in church yesterday and God revealed some things to me. What did he reveal? He revealed that through the Spirit there's healing. Through the Spirit there's medicine there. So you might ask me the question, well, what are you talking about? What do you actually mean? Well, it's the way that you carry yourself. If you begin to carry yourself with confidence, when you begin to carry yourself with the understanding that there is a God who loves you and cares about you, when you begin to understand that you are the head and you're not the tail, when you begin to understand and have faith that God can do anything that God wants to do, then you will have the freedom to live life the way that you want to live life. And when you have the freedom to live life the way that you want to live life, those things that come against you, those things that come against your mind, that make you evil, that make you think that you can't overcome, that make you hate people when they come into your presence and dislike things just because you dislike things, can be reversed. Those things that come in your mind oftentimes don't stay in your mind, but they manifest themselves in your body. And how do they manifest themselves in your body? They manifest themselves through cancer. So it becomes cancerous to you, it becomes toxic to your body. Not only does that toxicity begins to kill you off, it begins to corrupt everything that's around you. So you go to work every single day in the same mindset that I gotta walk into this building and I gotta act before people in such a manner that does not glorify God. So what I'm saying to you is that you got to begin to enjoy life, that you got to begin to just release some things and say, God, you take it, because I don't want to have it, because if I have it, then I'm going to have high blood pressure. Then I'm going to have cancer. Then I'm going to have an ill will against my brother and my sister. But when I begin to release some things in your presence, when I begin to worship in earnesty and in truth and honestly, then guess what's going to happen? God is going to be in the situation with you, so those very things that come up against you that's causing you to act out of character is going to be removed. It's going to be moved out of your space. Then you're going to have a life of peace. And you're going to have a life of joy. So brothers and sisters, I'm trying to tell you on today that you got to have some peace and joy. You got to begin to enjoy life. If you don't enjoy life, then life is going to consume you. And if it consumes you, it's going to consume everything that's around you. It's going to consume your kids. It's going to consume your mother and your father and your uncle and your nieces and your nephews and your cousins. It's going to consume you and them because you have allowed life to get you down. So it's my prayer on today that you're not only thinking about your health from a perspective of I need to look good and feel good, but from a perspective that when you make that change, it's going to change everything around you. So on today, I ask that you make that decision. A decision not to walk like everybody else, not to talk like everybody else, but to believe in yourself. And believe that greater is to come if you trust God and you live a life of freedom through God.